Cripps, ladies and gentlemen, extraordinary footballers. Maxie, we'll get to the 7-time in a moment, but I was just asking both you guys as the package was going to air, how do you like watching your highlights packages?
Well, as a ruckman, your highlights package obviously isn't as good as the rest of them, so I always think it's better than what it is, and you go back and you have a little watch and you're like, yeah, that's not actually that good, is it?
What about yourself, Pat?
Yeah, I'm a bit the same as Maxie. Sometimes you're in the moment you think they're better than what they are, and then it's just a set shot 30 out directly in front. But sometimes pre-game I watch a bit of highlights, get myself pumped up. But yeah, in these moments it can be a bit awkward.
You watch highlights yourself pre-game?
Oh, sometimes a bit of motivation. Yeah, sometimes when you're down on form you might flick through, but yeah, not all the time, but sometimes.
It can be a pretty stressful job.
So you think the role of the ruckman is harder than the role of the midfielder?
Well, talking backstage, and Cripps rucked this year, and he said that was the hardest couple of minutes of his year.
How do you go with ruck?
It's definitely challenging. It's a bit like Maxie. You sort of learn a bit of a different craft. I've more got thrown into it, just had a few injuries, but as the year went on, I started picking TDKs and pedo sprains and a little bit of a ruck craft, but yeah, definitely it taxes you in different ways and zaps you, so your appreciation for rucks definitely goes through the roof, so might be taking Big Maxi on next year.
I look forward to seeing that. Incredible moments at the end of the season, obviously the Higgins goal, and then you sat there and watched, I think, quite as a group. What was the emotional roller coaster, Cripps? Because at one point, Fremantle in front, you're probably having a quiet beer on Monday. Next Port comes strong, and you've got 2 more weeks to prepare for a final.
Yeah, it was a terrible 3 hours, Howie.
Was it?
Absolutely hated every minute of it. There's something about when you're playing, you're in some sort of control, but when that gets taken out of your hands, and the way it did, it sort of felt a bit like deja vu of 2022 for us. So we're just lucky enough there was another game that could dictate our fate. So going back to the club rooms was great from a connection point of view, and everyone's sort of sitting around. I couldn't watch the last quarter. I went downstairs with Georgie Hewitt. We just watched the score. I couldn't write every emotion.
You were just watching the app?
Oh, we sort of had it in the background, just
right.
having a quiet one, and yeah, it was sort of just sitting there and just hoping for the best, and then we said we wouldn't go up there unless there was a minute to go, and they were up by a couple of goals, which happened to be. So then we carried on like we'd won, and Monday morning, mate, I've never been more happy after a loss in my life, so it felt like we generally won. So it was a crazy sort of 5-6 hours, but the best thing was, even if we did win, we'd be in the exact same position. So hopefully we carry a bit of that momentum through.
Yeah, hopefully. We watch you play, and you obviously went to the West Coast Eagles, and they had so many injuries, Carlton, and it was like, well, this could be the end of Carlton's season. In the first 5 minutes of that game, I watched it a couple of times, it was like, you were right, we're not losing this game. Where do you put yourself mentally and physically at that point when the season is on the line, you've got injuries, you've travelled to Western Australia, you're in the middle, and you're the skipper, Cripps?
Yeah, I love those challenges. It's probably didn't treat it too differently, but one thing I reckon in games when it's really started to matter later in the year that you know, there's fear can sometimes creep into guys' minds. So I just wanted to really go out there and say, if I'm going to fail, I'd rather fail having a crack. So really try and give as much effort. Know we had a younger team in that week, so just try to give those younger boys a lot of confidence and clarity in their role. But as a leader, you sort of want to go out and set the example. So tried to do that, and yeah, that was one of my most enjoyable wins as a player and also as a captain, and see some of these young fellas smile after the game and carry on a bit and just get the taste of what AFL footy's like. It's rewarding when you've been captain of the club for a little bit.
7-time All-Australian, 4-time All-Australian. Enjoy your off-season, Maxie. You'll be back bigger and better the next year. And Patrick, good luck to you and the Carlton Football Club moving forward.
Thanks, Harry.
Thanks, mate.